What's new at Charlie's? What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's? Tell me what's new at Charlie's? Still on Main.
Hi, welcome to another edition of What's New at Charlie's. Well, today we're going to be opening up a, kind of a unicorn, a pretty special bottle, about a $500 retail bottle of 20-year-old Chickencock Cotton Club Rye Whiskey. Say that 3 times real fast, Don. That's not easy. So this was one that was a little hard to come by. I don't know that I'll be getting any more of it, but I'm pretty excited to give it a try. It's not every day you get to open a 20-year bottle of whiskey. I think you all know my good friend, Mr. Don Williams, the Bourbon Fool. Don, how are you today?
Charlie, I'm good. It's interesting to see a bottle in a can.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's cool packaging, but there's a little bit more behind the can, right?
Yeah, this was a big time whiskey in Prohibition days. And the can was obviously not ornate. It was more nondescript.
Yeah.
And I think it was a way to kind of hide it from the federal revenue agents. But it is really a whiskey with a lot of history, founded all the way back in 1856. So even though Chickencock has done a revival lately, it is an old brand from way back.
Right, yeah. So it was originally in Kentucky?
In Paris, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
Prohibition came along and they...
basically the Cotton Club brand, not the Cotton Club, I'm sorry, Chickencock brand was very, very popular. And when Prohibition came around, they were unable to secure a medicinal permit.
Right, yep.
So they sold the Chickencock name to a Canadian company. And what did Canadian whiskey companies do but provided across the river for Prohibition?
Probably a lot of it right here in Detroit, huh?
I would think most of it. Most
Yes.
of it crossed the Detroit River at some point.
Exactly, yeah. So it was smuggled in during Prohibition and became the house whiskey at the Cotton Club in New York, right? Harlem, yeah?
Yeah, and it was so popular that it sold for the great sum of $14 a pint during Prohibition times. And the great Duke Ellington, who played the Cotton Club, actually talked about that great Chickencock whiskey that was sold there. So there is provenance that goes back a long way on the brand.
Right. A lot of history. I mean, I've heard about it for years. Kind of, has made a comeback lately. So.
Well, after Prohibition, it had a hard time finding its legs again, like a lot of whiskeys did.
Sure, right.
Because mature whiskey stock was almost impossible to come up with.
Right.
Everything was young, and people expected the brand to be what it used to be, and it kind of faded away in the 50s. It kind of just went away. And in 2011, a gentleman by the name of Matty Antila resurrected the brand using sourced whiskey, and what I really love about it is he went really beyond trying to find historical records of what the bottles look like and what the packaging looked like and what the marketing looked like to recreate a iconic brand.
Right, yeah, awesome. And then you told me another interesting fact, that he went so far as to look to the great state of West Virginia to get his barrels.
Well, our good friends at Bardstown Bourbon Company
Yep.
are now the exclusive partners to work with Grain and Barrel Spirits, which is the parent company.
Yep.
And they make sure that every new spirit distilled for the Chickencock brand uses barrels from the great state of West Virginia.
Yes, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, here we are talking about Bardstown again, man. I tell you, we should be on the payroll, man. But you know what? Those guys they always got something working, right? I mean, they're not sitting back. There's something new every day from out of Bardstown. It's always been fantastic. So this, though, would have not came from Bardstown. It being 20 years old,
right,
would have came from Canada, I assume.
It is sourced, and it's a 20-year-old product, 90% rye mash bill. I think they made less than 100 barrels of this, or
Yeah.
secured less than 100 barrels.
Yep.
So it is truly a pretty rare whiskey.
All right, well, let's crack it open and see what we got. Once again, he already talked about the can, the beautiful packaging comes in. You lift it out, and you got the bottle. Ah, there we go. Well, the first thing that steps out to me, Don, is pretty light for a 20-year-old whiskey.
It is, and ideally, I think that it's, been aged, sourced in Canada, probably, aged in ex-bourbon barrels or older barrels. It does not take on the same color.
Yeah, right. Colder winters, longer, and then
Right.
the chars, a lot of it's already out of it from the soaking in the bourbon. So I guess that lets it age longer, right?
Well, yeah, it does, and it avoids some of the woodiness
Yeah.
a little bit. And the other thing is, it's obvious that even though Canadian whiskey is allowed to, they're not adding any coloring.
Nope, I doubt they put any coloring in that one. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is a good thing in my book.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. So so I guess that explains the color on it. Well, let's crack it open and see what we got here.
And really, it's a fantastic bottle and a throwback label, even
Oh yeah.
without the can.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. All right. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Good spice.
Yeah, good spice, but
No oakiness, really at all.
no, not for 20 years old. Wow. Yeah.
That is a good drinking rye right there.
That is nice, man. That's really smooth. Very smooth. What's the proof on that, Don?
That one is, I forgot, it's 100 proof.
100 proof. Yeah, 100 proof. Yeah.
And, we're becoming rye fans.
I know, dude. The one of the first videos made here, I commented I didn't really like ryes, and all these great ryes are proving me wrong because every other week it seems I find one I like. Yeah. Wow.
So good mouthfeel. Not an overly strong finish, not that.
Yeah, it's
Hug.
smooth. Yeah.
And,
Right.
But a lot of flavor and a great sipping rye.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. I get some vanilla, like,
Vanilla,
yeah,
caramel, a little cinnamon.
yeah,
A little cinnamon.
a little bit, yeah.
But again,
And the nice spice from the rye, yeah.
but it's got, for a 90% rye mash bill, it's got a little sweetness to it.
A little bit, yeah.
Not a lot, but a
Yeah.
little bit. But in closing, the West Virginia Barrel Company
Yeah?
was actually created by bourbon people. It was actually created by whiskey people to satisfy kind of a, place in the marketplace, because there was a lot of West Virginia oak available.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
And one of the founders of Smooth Ambler is actually part of that barrel company.
Would make sense. If I remember right, the barrel company was in Caldwell, which is pretty much, it's right there by Smooth Ambler. It's all in the same, it's around the Greenbrier. It's in the same ballpark. So,
Right.
yeah, it's one more thing for us to put on a to-do list.
And anytime I can plug West Virginia for it, Charlie, I try to.
I appreciate it, man. Absolutely, yes. So, yeah, I'm going to have to make it there someday. I wonder if they do tours. They'll give us a tour, you think?
I think that it's possible.
We'll make some calls, yeah. All right, well, hey, thanks for tuning in with us. Stop by Charlie's, check this out. If you want to try a 20-year-old rye whiskey, good stuff, man, good stuff. So, Don?
This one's going to be hard to find. You're going to want to stop in here.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you, everyone.
What's new at Charlie's still on Main? What's new at Charlie's? Tell me what's new at Charlie's still on Main?